I have some kind of humorous but rather serious lessons. The title of my talk is something like Lessons in Manhood. and I think if it's interest to you, it would be meaningful and helpful. I'm talking 1946, 47, and I had to leave school at the end of the ninth grade because of 5 sisters. My mom and dad had been divorced, and I became a surrogate father for 5 sisters and a complex, difficult mother. And I took this very, very seriously, partly because it was put on me. I didn't choose it. And so what I wanted really badly was a job that would be consistent and help me meet the urgency of those years. The war is over in 45, and I'm 16, 17 years old, and I got an employment with a man named Walter Butler. Sorry, Baron Walker. You can edit that out. Baron Walker, a German, very strict, amazingly funny, genuinely manly, nobody to fool with. And the years passed, and I knew that God had given me a mentor, a man who would disciple me and put into me some manhood. I'm not ashamed to say that my mom, dad is gone. I have my mom, 5 sisters, and I jokingly talk about being raised under petticoat government. It was so I'm struggling to find my own manhood, and as I do, I go to work for him, and like any 16, 17-year-old, kind of a smart aleck, trying to prove my own manhood. And the first lesson, there's 5 of them. I just want them to show you, hear you, allow you to see into it. And we get into a hassle, and I inadvertently, almost with unconsciously, put up my dukes like this. And I thought, man, I'll kick your butt. And a serious thing came over him. And he looked at me and he said, Bob Mumford, you better learn to eat with those things before you put them up here. Later, I found out that he was semi-pro lightweight boxer. When he said, you better learn to eat with them, something in me changed, and I recognized picking a fight was pure stupidity. And it caused me to approach all of that differently than my peers. It adjusted something in me. The second one was he would come in. I opened the station at 7 a.m. and he would come in about 8:30, 9 and say, what time did you open this morning, Bob? And I would be embarrassed. I'd say 7:15, 7:30, one time 7:45 because I had slept over. And he'd smile. Only later did I find out that he had a clock in the cigarette machine, set for 12 o'clock. And the moment I turned the lights on in the office, the clock started. And he knew exactly every morning when I found out. But every morning I would tell him the truth. And this was called learning truthfulness. And he watched me for months. And I would tell him 7:30, 10 after 7. And then he would open the cigarette machine and see the clock. And his confidence in me and mine in him grew exponentially, because no matter how dumb I was, he knew essentially that I was a man who could be trusted. Really, really important to me. Changed my life. Third one, this is kind of funny, but my first con. This is what I call my first con. This guy pulls in, big long car, 46, you understand, and he's dressed well, and I fill the car up, and he gives me a $50 bill. I hadn't seen a $50 bill, but it was a con. He knew how to shift the money. Oh, no, he said, I gave you 20, this is 10, you need to give me back 10. And I'm standing there all discombobulated. He gets in the car, drives away. I look at my change, and I've been conned out of $10. Well, it's not a problem. I work for Barron. He will forgive me for this. So I go in. When he comes, I go in. I said, I've just been conned out of $10. And $10 in 1946 was a lot of money. And he said, well, stupid people have to learn their own lessons. I didn't get conned, you got conned, and this comes out of your pay. I went through 10 changes right on the spot. This is an unfair boss. This is wrong. I'm scandalized. I'm in pain. Because the $10 was really, really critical. That lesson has served me. I am now 90 years old. That lesson served me all my life. Had he forgiven me, I would have never learned the lesson. And I realize now his love for me was intentional, manly, even godly, because he saw me moving into a kind of maturity. Third one, that is the third one. Fourth one, this was another mentoring experience for me. Man pulls up in the car, I go out, serve him. He gets out of the car, reaches in his pocket, and I have never seen more angry, more cruel face. He had a face full of broken commandments. That's the only way I could describe it. He pulls this wad of money out, could hardly get it out of his pocket, and he said, have you ever seen this much cash? I said, no, I don't think I ever have. And he said, well, I'm telling you, I have learned to trust cash, not God. And I was stunned. And I said, why? He said, my son was killed in the war, and where was God when my son died? And I kind of feebly said, well, I think he was at the same place he was when his son died. and he exploded. He was so, and I saw materialism, greed, anger, spiritual cancer, and I saw something in him that inside of me, I said, God the Father, don't ever let me go there. There was a mentoring, discipling lesson that I have never forgot. The last one, my co-worker was named Red. I don't want to use his last name. He was a wonderful man, young man, my age. No, I was 16, 17, he was 20. And I saw something in him that has been a paradox all my life, which was he was so gentle, such a good man, good worker, good scholar. He loved to learn. One of the lessons he tried to teach me was how to pick while the motor was running, how to pick the electric wire off of the spark plug and let it poke in you. And I thought, no, I don't think I want to do that. And then he put the back on the thing, but he was so one. But the moment we would go drinking, something rose in him that always wanted to fight. When he was sober, he was an amazingly peaceful man. When he started to drink, and this is where I first learned that alcohol is a truth serum. When a person drinks, the lover may become a fighter, and the fighter becomes a lover, and the reality inside somehow comes to reality. And I realized then, and I vowed that I was never going to lose control, and that I wanted to be an authentic person, sober or drinking. I wanted to be the same person. And I learned this phrase. It's not original with me. I learned what it means to be under the alkafluence of alcohol. and over the years, those 5 lessons has helped me become a better father. Not the kind that I wanted to be, but a better father had I not been mentored by someone who really cared. We need fatherhood. We need mentoring. We need lessons that deeply alter our person and make us better people.